Welcome to MegaNet Gaming, and today's review is going to be on the fourth Super Nintendo game I ever received. Got it as a kid. It's a game called Super Play Action Football, the first football game that I owned. It was released in August of 1992, developed by TOSE, published by Nintendo, with the music composed by Studio 401. So, I don't have the capture card ready yet. I have played this game extensively on the actual Super Nintendo, but for some visuals we will use an emulated version. Anyway, I just tried it on take one. Apparently I picked an emulator that was running at half speed. Alright, let's go down through all these games. Super Play Action Football. And here it goes, it's a Mode 7 graphics. So you can pick different skill levels. You have beginner, normal, 5 and 15-minute quarters, mono and stereo sound. We'll do beginner. You can do NFL, college, or high school, and with high school you can actually create your own team name. We're going to do college. I'm going to just to demonstrate something. Do a single game. Do single player. Since it doesn't have an NCAA license, you have things like Pursue instead of Purdue. State of Michigan instead of Michigan State. State of Ohio instead of Ohio State. Northern Cal and Southern Cal. LA, California, which is UCLA. You have Pale, Princeton, Smart Mouth, Run Over Ya, Moldy Moss. I think it's, who knows what that, Holy Cross maybe? Windy Belt, which I think is supposed to be Vanderbilt. Spice, which I have Rice. Kind of an odd assortment of teams. You have like Division 1 and Division 1A and AA teams mixed in. And some just don't make a whole lot of sense why they'd be chosen over other teams. But the team to pick here is UCLA. We will play against. Let's play against Moldy Moss. You got different conditions, you got the wind. This is a game from 1992, so keep that in mind. It is played from this 3/4 tilt perspective where the players seem way too small for the field they're actually playing on. Look at these. Look at that guy in the background. The girl is laughing and the guy just has a look like, I don't want to be here. Got the angry business lady with a bit of cleavage. Oh, Moldy Moss gonna receive. So the game itself is a bit too close, yet the players seem a bit too small. See, that player takes up about a yard, so about 36 feet. I mean about 3 feet, 36 inches. It's a bit small for a football player. Pretty standard kick controls. And for the time, these are somewhat impressive graphics. Since it's so zoomed up, you have this little radar type thing on the side of the screen. Not a whole lot of sound effects. You do have a playbook. Oops, wrong button. I don't think I have this quite mapped out. Obviously not a whole lot of commentary. You get first down. Let's face the other direction until I figure out how to switch. And you don't have a whole lot of frames in the animations. And those players move so slow, it seems like it takes them a few seconds to make it 5 yards down the field. Which I'll forgive it for the time. There's some not very accurate football games at the time. Oh, time to measure it. Definitely didn't make it by how they brought it out. At least that was somewhat accurate. Guess it's first down time. Hey, do I get a whole second thing of plays? If you pick a team that isn't that good, they will drop more passes and they do run more slowly. So it doesn't matter who your players are. If I remember it, there's also injuries. That guy was a... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to catch him, but the appearance on that radar... It'll give me a chance to demonstrate something about why you picked UCLA if I can pull it off like I used to be able to. And we'll get to see a field goal. Well, point after kick, but same mechanics for either. Got a crowd there where it's repeating people. Better kick it to who I think they're going to kick it to. Better not be some like intermediate guy that catches it. Oh, he didn't make it all the way. I should have used my speed burst. As a kid, I used to always pick this team and I'd just run every ball back for a touchdown. Now we get to show off some offensive tactics. Which, once you get used to playing this game, it doesn't really play all that bad. I don't suggest passing very much. Just go with the sweep every play and you'll be fine. It says something about the game's AI, but... I'll try my luck on this. 2-point conversion. I don't remember if there's onside kicks or not, so let's give it a try. Apparently there is, but that's not how to do it. Come on, come on, come on, get it, get it, get it. Oh, LA, comma, CA, California. Now we can try to demonstrate the passing mechanics. Once you throw the ball, you have control over the receiver, and you want to get where the X is, and you want to throw it where there's not another player. Second down and inches. Field goal. I didn't realize that was a field goal fake. If this does quarters or halves. First quarter. Alright. Putt putt. So it sounded like as a kid was putt 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 putt. And just like Tecmo Super Bowl there and Bo Jackson, there's certain players. The only one I remember specifically is this team where you have certain players that are just significantly faster than the other players. Make it so you can just spam the same play over and over with the same player and then run up the score. Alright. We're not going to play a full game. We're just going to do end of first quarter. Oops. Somebody got killed. And somebody's yammering at the coach, and the coach doesn't care. And there you go. Super Play Action Football for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So, how did the critics review this game? Well, the video game critic gave it an F. Total, UK Magazine gave it a 53%. If you go over to GameSpot, it has critic reviews. Nintendo Power gave it a 3.575 out of 5. Nintendo Power rating anything low means it's if it's under a 4 and it has to do with Nintendo Power, it must be pretty bad. And you also have Super Play giving it a 71 out of 100. This is probably appropriate for the time. But I'm looking at games over the course of the time as trying to separate them from the context of the time they're created and look at them as an actual game. As far as the reviews on GameSpot, you have a 2 out of 5, a 1 out of 5, a 2.5 out of 5, a 3.5 out of 5, a 3 out of 5, and a half out of 5. And a lot of them, even the ones that are higher up, complain about the player movement not being all that great, which it's true. Player movement isn't all that great. Anyway, so where does this game stand up? It's not a 1 out of 5. You can go through my reviews and see some 1 out of 5s. And this game definitely isn't going in the 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 category. Nor is it even going to reach the average slot. It is a below average game over the course of time. And there's a lot of sports games that, if you look at gaming as a whole over time, you do have classics like Tecmo Super Bowl, and some of the early Madden games, and you had the Joe Montana games. I forget what that series was exactly. SportsTalk football, I believe. But there's some classic football games that are actually pretty decent. This one, on the other hand, even playing it against somebody else, the view isn't good. The view of the field's atrocious. The players move way too slow, and a lot of the mechanics you end up just spamming the same plays over and over, because if you try to say you're going to try to have a vertical game, do a lot of passing, you're probably going to end up throwing a lot of interceptions unless you've been playing this game for a long time. So you end up just finding the fast team instead of picking the team you want, and you just spam sweeps if you want to win. It's a below average game, but not trash. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. The question is where to put it on the list. I'm going to say that Firewatch and Witchhaven have aspects that stand out. Super Play Action Football does not. And while Double Dragon 3 on the PC is a rather lousy port of the game, it's still Double Dragon that has some enjoyable aspects to it. So the question is this game worse than Patriotic Pinball? It's definitely above Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the PC. And I'm going to say no. It's Patriotic Pinball. That's a tough one. It's a game a lot like Patriotic Pinball, where you can find fun in the game, especially if you enjoy football games of this time period. But it's just not a good game. It's below average. And unless you have nostalgia for the game, it's not really something I recommend, unless you're trying to complete a collection of football games from the time period, or trying to complete an SNES game collection. You can get the game for very cheap. Easily get it for under $10, including shipping. So if you're trying to get a massive SNES library built up, it's one you can get on the cheap. So this game, giving it a 2 out of 5. So I'll go 25th out of 29 on the list. Check it out if you want to see how football games were made at a certain time before the Joe Montana game, and then Madden came up with a winning strategy for developing a game and gameplay mechanics. Otherwise, there's not much here. It's a mediocre game at best, and that's only if you have some nostalgia for the game. Otherwise, it's a below average SNES game. It definitely does not hold up the test of time. I still do occasionally play it. It's a game that is part of my childhood, and there's some nostalgia there. And I had worse games than this, most definitely. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.